What's up, everybody? This is a spit knowledge video I'm about to do right quick. Have a lot of stuff to talk about. Alright, so I'm gonna start it off. My first thing I wanna do hip hop fans in general, aka dissing like legends. Okay, so I was recently on Hip Hop DX, I think a week or two before, and I read something about they interviewed something about Scarface, and he was talking about him wanting to do an LP with Nas, and he also talked about like hip hop fans in general. He said something like the game is sounding like more R&B, and he doesn't understand how country and rock. Like he said that country and rock are like doing good right now. Excuse me. Like he said, like country and rock are getting more brilliant, but how come hip hop is sounding more and more dumbed down? And he also questioned like hip hop fans' loyalty to like rappers, and he really was spot on with this interview, cause you know how they're like some hip hop fans like they claim to be hip hop fans, but they don't really give their favorite rappers support. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, I remember I was reading something about I think it was about rock. Yeah, I think it was Rakim. He wanted to. I think about a couple years ago, he no wait, it was like I think I read something about when he was about to release the album The Seventh Seal, and you know, cause he hasn't. That was like his first studio album since like I believe The Master, and so like a lot of like fans on like hip hop did saying, "Oh, I don't want to hear this old ass nigga no more. This nigga old as fuck." I'm like, what the fuck? That doesn't mean he can't still spit. I mean, if you can spit, if you're so good, then you can use it. That's what I'm saying. Although that album was not like one of Rakim's best works, it was still good to see him like back doing his thing in hip hop. You know what I mean? And also, you know how like these rock fans, like say like the Rolling Stones, they dropped an album. You have these rock fans say, "Oh, I'm glad to see Rolling Stones doing their thing and stuff like that. I'm glad to see all that." But like when like say like somebody like De La Soul drops an album or a mix, they say, "Oh, I'm tired of these old ass niggas." I don't get that shit. Seriously, like, how is it that rock fans have more loyalty to their favorite musician than hip hop fans? That's one thing I never really understood about hip hop in general, you know. But if it's like niggas like Rich Homie Quan or people like Drake, they'll be all on their dicks and some shit. You know what I mean? Alright, my next topic is people like famous singers now dissing legends, like musicians now dissing legendary musicians. That's what I meant to say. Okay, so I was on the internet, I believe today. My friend told me about. Have you heard what Rihanna said about TLC? And so I don't know. I was reading up tweets, and all of a sudden, people were saying like how TLC was like. I think TLC say something like, "Oh, I'm so glad that we're like one of those groups who didn't promote like themselves taking their clothes off." And I think, well, from what I read, Rihanna said something like, "Who cared about some old thoughts or some shit like that?" That's like fucking disrespectful. And like you don't really. So you're getting mad at them just because they you get mad at them just because they stood for something right, but what you're promoting is wrong. I don't really get that. You know, that's another thing too. Like people now like dissing legends. Like I remember back in like '07 when Ice-T and Soulja Boy had that beef, you know, and you know Ice-T did Soulja Boy. You guys should know the whole story about that. And like Soldier Boy, he's like, he posted a video about him saying, "Oh, you old as fuck, man. You need to, why you still rapping and shit like that?" First of all, without these legends today, there won't be your favorite singers out right now, your favorite like musicians out right now. And like, it just gets to the point where like, whenever I hear somebody say something like, "Oh, I'm gonna start with this dude because he's more relevant than this other dude," it just makes me freaking sick to my stomach, you know. Alright, next topic. Alright, so my next topic I want to talk about is like Amazon sellers, you know, in general, selling out of print CDs. You know, I love Amazon. You know, Amazon is like probably one of my top 5 websites ever. You know, like I get like CDs, snapbacks, you know, things like that at a good price. But there's some sellers in Amazon that I don't like that sell you a fortune for some of their CDs. I'm gonna show you guys 2 examples right quick. Alright, this is Rick James discography, like some of his CDs, you know. You have his Street Song CD. That's like $3, you know. You can get this album anywhere, so. You got the Throwing Down CD, the one he dropped back in 1982. $29.40 for a used copy. That's not, nah. They Come Get It CD, like $1.91. I already talked about that one. Cold Blooded, $10.75 for a new copy, $20.48 for used copy. That's his posthumous album, Deeper Still. Oh no, it gets better than that. Watch. His Wonderful album, the one he dropped back in like the late 80s, like $13.79 for a used copy. His Fired Up CD, that cost about $99 for one copy. His Urban Rhapsody CD, $48.16. His Garden of Love CD, now this one costs a fortune. Like, I saw a copy cost about like $50 just for a used copy. And now we're gonna go to David Ruffin's CDs. You got one of his Motown recordings, $16.60 for a used copy. His Gentleman Ruffin CD, classic album in my opinion. Look at his prices, $35 for a freaking new copy, you know what I'm saying? And what else? Like, you know, you guys should know what I mean now. Like, this is why people download CDs. This is why people have bootlegs on CDs. Because, like, shit like this, you know, people need to stop, like, overcharging their, like, CDs. And these are, like, CDs that's been out of print for years or hard to come by. And so, when we finally have a chance to find that CD, they said, "Oh, I'm gonna put $30 on this," you know. I understand that it's valuable, but people are struggling. That's why niggas download CDs. That's why people make bootleg copies and sell them. It's crazy, you know. And that's all I have to say today. Stay tuned for another Spit Knowledge and stuff. Peace.